A lot of universities have turned to the privatized housing approach, the so-called public-private partnerships. Traditionally, universities, in terms of completing any facility on campus, including housing, will go through a long procedure. They try to get funding from the state, or they try to float bond issues, but states don't have all the money that they need to fund all of the university needs. Consequently, many projects get tabled year after year. So you have this traditional delivery method that can take many, many years. So the public-private partnership arose roughly in terms of student housing, really got to be a popular thing maybe roughly 10 years ago. Private investors are very focused on deciding what they want to do, making quick decisions, getting it done, getting it built, getting it leased. They want their money to start having a return on their investment as soon as possible. So the private side brings speed, whereas it took them 5 or 10 years before they ever got started on constructing a facility. They hire us and they're under construction in 6, 9, or 12 months. When we're working with universities, our vision is to create, number one, a property that is self-sustaining financially, meaning the university doesn't have to invest any funds in the project. They can get fantastic housing in a record time and start giving that satisfaction back to the students in terms of the living component of their educational process.
For our project here, the public-private partnership was the only way to get it done. If that partnership didn't exist, you wouldn't see out there the wonderful facilities you see today. It allowed us to move quickly, it allowed us to move prudently, and allowed us to not necessarily do things the right way, it allowed us to do the right thing and do the right thing for the students.
In less than 2 years, we were able to program, to design, to prepare construction documents, to finance, to build, furnish, and occupy within that 24-month period. It has allowed us to move ahead in 2.5 years to get, close to 2,000 beds built and 6 or 7 buildings demolished and reach this point. It could not have been done under the government procurement way. It could have only been done under this public-private process.
While I have a great deal of respect for our Commonwealth and public higher education, I know that in order for us to have achieved this outcome, we could not have done it publicly, and we would not have achieved the enrollment increases that we experienced this fall. So the public-private partnership was an essential element to our success.
Because this is a public-private partnership, the developer, by law, are not permitted to make a profit because the financing is tax-free financing. So whatever profit, quote-unquote, there would be, the difference between the rents collected and all of the expenses, including the bonds and the maintenance and the heat and so on, that quote-unquote profit comes back to us. So our student association and the university have shared in the results of that wonderful return. And what we've used it for is scholarships for students. And we've also used that extra funding to pay for facilities. So financially, this housing model has worked beautifully for us in those 3 different ways.
It's significantly increased our ability to provide additional scholarships to the students. It's helped us provide funding for other capital projects on campus. And this is only in 2 years. Over the long haul there, the potential there is just unbelievable, again, of how we can continue to help the campus grow and expand just by operating the new residential suites.
Since the year 2000, we've developed and acquired $2.3 billion worth of student housing, and $1.3 billion of that has been new on-campus development through public-private partnerships since 2000. So we have a big focus on the public-private partnership arena and work hard to partner with universities to meet their needs and meet the needs of the students.
I would recommend the public-private partnership to any university president who's seriously thinking about doing housing. I think it's the best way to go. We ended up with world-class housing without spending any of our own money. And this housing actually ends up paying us. I'll take as many of those deals as I can get.